All right, it's
Okay.
recording.
All right. When I lived in New Jersey, I built a new house to live in a place called Holland Township. And after I built the house, uh, I heard someone speaking about the people who ran the township as doing things that weren't exactly that they thought were right. So I started attending the township meetings, and it seems like very few people were interested in what was going on in the county, in the township, because very few ever attended the meetings. So apparently, the township committee decided that they could do as they please and nobody would ever question them. So when I heard about possible corruption in the township, I decided to attend meetings. So I would attend meetings and ask questions. I'd ask questions about well, how they spent the money, why they spent the money, why couldn't they spend it any better and get better results. So they got tired of me asking questions, so they wrote anonymous letters to the local paper, uh, calling me a nitpicker. So the next time I would go to a meeting, I would address them as the Holland Township nitpicker. It made them feel very small. So they stopped calling me the nitpicker, but I never stopped addressing them as the nitpicker. I just made them feel ashamed of themselves for trying to degrade me. Well, anyhow, uh, I've heard that the mayor who worked at a paper mill had a side business where he sold this artificial stone where people would buy it and put it on their like on the foundation to cover the block. And I found out that the company he worked for got the contract to supply the gravel for resurfacing some of the township roads. So that was a conflict of interest. So when I questioned him on it, he said, "Oh no, I don't do that anymore." Whether he did or not didn't make any difference, but it made him quit doing it. And then when I heard of other uh, appropriations of the township money, uh, the uh, the man who sort of ran the politics in the township was a Mr. Phillips. And Mr. Phillips was vice president of the bank in the town of Milford, which was adjacent to Holland Township. And he was also the township treasurer. And most of the money that we got from revenue was from a power plant that was on the Delaware River in the township. And the power plant supplied the township with, I would say, 80% of the revenue the township got. And the rest, where the law prohibited the industry from paying all of the revenue, the residents would make up the difference. But at the time, I don't think I paid over $50 or $60 a year for taxes because of the revenue that they got from the power plant. Well, anyway, I asked where the money that was paid by the power plant as taxes, where it was deposited. And at first they didn't want to tell me, but upon questioning, I found out that the township treasurer, who was the vice president of the bank in the Milford, was putting the money into his own account and earning the interest. So in the meantime, there was another bank established, a bank in the township. So I said there was no reason that all the money should be put into the bank in the town. Why shouldn't some of it be put into a bank that had business in the township? So they did. They didn't argue with it. They went ahead and put like half the money into the local bank, and then the other half went in. But Mr. Phillips no longer used his own account to put the township revenue in, and he didn't earn any more of the money. Well, I came to find out too that he controlled the politics in the township. He would nominate the Republican candidate and the Democrat candidate. So it made no difference who was elected, he still ran the whole show. And I felt that was another conflict of interest. So I decided that I would run as a candidate on the independent party. So what I did, when I let some people know that I was going to run, they supported me, and a lot of people didn't like what was going on, and they knew what was going on, but they were afraid to speak up. So when I went around campaigning, and I covered about 3/4 of the township, going door to door and telling the people what was going on in the township. Anyway, when it came time to vote, I see every voting district you could have a challenger. Anybody, any person who wants to challenge any votes could sit there and challenge a vote. So I was a challenger for my own campaign. So they couldn't pull any tricks or put somebody in that would tell you the wrong thing. So anyhow, after the voting was over, they counted up the votes, and I was right there when they counted them. I lost the election by 1 vote. But it was such a strong showing, and they were so embarrassed by it that they asked me. In fact, the mayor called me the following morning after the election, and his comment was, "Boy, you made a real good showing. How about joining us?" And I said, "Mayor, how about joining me?" And I could hear the phone slam down. He was very angry. But I decided that I would get some of my friends and run somebody for office to challenge them. So the following year, there was another vacancy because the way they ran the township, there was a vacancy every year. There were 3 candidates, but every year one would expire. So anyway, we challenged the Republican candidate, which we knew was handpicked by the politician, Mr. Phillips. So I ran this. Well, my committee ran this man for office, and he got elected. And the following year, we challenged another incumbent, and we put a lady in which had never served on the township committee as long as the township existed. So we got our own people in there, and with 2 people in there, you had a majority. From then on, in fact, when the lady was elected, the mayor got so angry he quit. So we, as one person, like people say, one person can't make a difference. Well, I feel like if I, as one person, challenging them and not backing off, that I made a change in the government of the township. And I think to this day, the township is in control of the people that run things according to the laws and everything, and Mr. Phillips was out of the picture.
And what year was this?
And this was, possibly in the 1950s, I believe, late 50s. And
in New Jersey?
And this was in New Jersey, and the state is divided into counties, and Holland Township was a subsidiary of Hunterdon County. Hunterdon was divided up by the different townships, and I was born in Kingwood Township, which is just a few miles south of Holland. And my family still lives in Holland, in Kingwood Township. In fact, my nieces and nephews own about 500 acres in the township of Kingwood, which is very rare because New Jersey is not very big and there aren't too many people who own that amount of land. And that's sort of one part of my story of my life.
Thank you.